In this box is a vintage puzzle so rare, I didn't even know it existed. So I'm gonna tell you the full story of how I acquired it in just a minute. But first, let's open this up because I'm so excited to see it in person. Okay, here it comes, here it comes, here it comes. Oh my gosh, oh my gosh, it's here, it's here, it's here. Literally, like, no one out there will have ever guessed what this was. Oh my god, oh my god. Ah! Okay, here we go, here we go. I'm taking it out of the bag. I'm taking it out of the bag. There it is. So this, okay, you guys still have no idea what this is. So this is the Eaton Challenge Cup, but it is the tea version, which I did not even know existed. I made a video a while ago. I made a video about all of the rarest puzzles in the world that I am still looking for, and on that list was the coffee version of this puzzle, of which there is literally one photo on the entire internet on eatonpuzzles.com, which is an incredible resource of vintage Eaton puzzles. Even that website does not have this puzzle on there. So, okay, let's open it up. Oh, okay, we have our little puzzle. And this, okay, this is what I am here for. This is why I spent way too much money on this puzzle. It is the scorecard. I can finally read the entire thing. Instead of trying to zoom in on that super pixelated photo, I can finally read the entire thing. I'm so happy right now. I'm so happy. Hi everybody, and Happy New Year! So I filmed that first clip that you just saw as a little preview for my Patreon subscribers when I was filming my haul video last year. I just really wanted to see this in person and also make sure it wasn't like broken or anything. But now I am back to tell you all about it and do the most detailed deep dive into this puzzle you have ever seen. And that's a true fact. No one will have ever seen this before because this puzzle does not exist on the internet. So as I mentioned in that first clip, the only photo from this puzzle series that is on the internet is on eatonpuzzles.com, where they have a not great quality photo of the coffee puzzle. And when I was scrolling through the eatonpuzzles.com website, it seems like that was the only puzzle that Eaton ever released that was not just a regular puzzle in a regular puzzle box. So when this one showed up for sale, my world was shook. I just turned 32. Am I allowed to say shook? All right, so here's what we've got. You can see that the top of this cup, we have this lid with this beautiful typography that says the Challenge Cup. Up here, we can see Schaefer Eaton Textron. So that phrase also appears on the puzzle boxes, and when I look up that entire thing, it looks like Schaefer is a calligraphy pen company. So basically, both companies were acquired by Textron, and then from 1976 on, they were releasing pens, puzzles, and other paper products under the Schaefer Eaton name. So then we have a little blurb. The enclosed puzzle features 42 pieces. The completed size is 6.5 inches by 6.5 inches. Then we have the Eaton logo. And then we have some kind of serial number. And all of this is sort of like a raised ink. So on the outside, you can see that it says T and the letters are stylized to look like a jigsaw puzzle, which is very cute. And then on the bottom, we have a little bit of raised text. It says Worley Industries Inc., Warren, Pennsylvania, USA. So I feel like that's probably the company that made this plastic cup. All right, so if we open it up, we can take out our bag of pieces as well as our scorecard. So those are the only two things that are in here. And I guess now you could use this as an actual cup if you wanted to. Everybody go check your grandparents' cabinets and see if they have this cup sitting in there. So the bag of pieces is still sealed, I believe. And it has this tape holding the bag closed, which I've actually seen a lot of in other puzzles from around this time period. This puzzle doesn't have a date anywhere on the puzzle itself, but on EatonPuzzles.com, they say that the coffee puzzle was released in 1980. So I'm just gonna assume this one was also released in 1980. Ooh, okay, we've got a lot of vintage puzzle dust here. Okay, but I can't solve it yet. I don't even want to look too closely at the pieces because I need to time myself and find out what my score is. Okay, so this is what I'm so excited to have because in that photo that I kept telling you about, the bottom was completely cut off, so now we can finally read the entire thing. Okay, so once again, it says Schaefer Eaton Challenge Cup Mini Puzzle Scorecard. So if you complete it in under 3 minutes, you're a genius. 3 to 5 minutes, nice going, doing piecework for a living. How did they know? I don't think this was a job in the 80s. YouTuber was not a job in 1980. So 5 to 8 minutes is maybe a little peace and quiet would have improved your score. 8 to 10 minutes, practice, practice. 10 to 15 minutes, were you trying to assemble the puzzle in its plastic bag? And if it takes you over 15 minutes, no score. See points for consolation. So then, okay, we have our bonus points and penalties. If you fill the cup before removing the puzzle, minus 20 points. Attempting to drink puzzle while assembling it, minus 30 points. Trying to fit the assembled puzzle back in the cup without disassembling it, minus 99 points. And then finally, finding fun and enjoyment in your Challenge Cup mini puzzle, bonus 100 points. So no matter how long it takes you, as long as you find fun and enjoyment, you're a genius. But what if you do it in under 3 minutes and you find fun and enjoyment? Then you get 200 points and there's no label for that. All right, so there's nothing on the back. That's all we've got there. So I think it's time to time myself doing this puzzle. All right, I got this, I got this. Here we go. And start. Somehow doing a puzzle this small is even more stressful than doing a giant puzzle. There's like no room for error. No, my first piece, no, my second piece was wrong. No, my third piece was wrong. Oh no. Okay, I got one, I got one. No, this is so stressful. Okay. I'm doing it. I'm only 40 seconds in, so I'm a third of the way to not being a genius anymore. No, I'm trying things that are so dumb. I just need to calm down and like take a deep breath. Ooh. Oh no. Okay, this is the problem with trying to race a like valuable vintage puzzle, is I also don't want to ruin the pieces by like shoving them together. Oh no, this is bad, this is bad, this is bad. Oh my god, I'm so stressed. I'm so stressed right now. I'm so stressed. What am I even looking at? What is this? I'm a minute and a half in. More than halfway to not being a genius anymore. Like I ever was a genius in the first place. What am I even talking about? Okay, 2 minutes 7. I just saw this piece. There it is. That's a corner, that's a corner, that's the corner I need. Okay, okay. Oh my god, oh my god, oh my god. No! There, oh, these connect together. Should have seen that earlier. Maybe I'm not a genius after all. 2 minutes 33. Okay, oh my god, oh my god. No! There we go, there we go. This one goes there, and then this one goes not there. This one is gonna go there, that one's gonna go. Oh my god. Oh my god, no, oh no, I'm not a genius, I'm not a genius. We just hit 3 minutes. Okay, okay. I think I'm definitely gonna finish before 4 minutes. And done. Oh my god, that was so stressful. Oh my gosh, I'm not a genius. My final time was 3 minutes and 31 seconds. So I guess that means I have a score of 80. Nice going, doing piecework for a living. Literally, how did they know? That is actually really perfect. Okay, so here is the final picture. So we have a lemon, some more lemons, we have a tea bag, and then the string and the paper, and then I think they're just sitting on top of a bunch of tea leaves. And as you can see, this is super solid. The pieces are super thick. This is very reminiscent of Springbok puzzle quality from the 80s. They definitely had their own unique cut that was very different from Springbok's cuts though. So if I bring back out the Puzzle Plus puzzle that I just did recently, this puzzle came out in 1982, so theoretically 2 years after the tea puzzle, but if we look at them next to each other, the greens aren't quite the same. This one is a little bit more of a teal, this one's more of a yellowy green, but the puzzle cut is very similar between the two. So I thought I might do a comparison to a Ravensburger puzzle piece, just because that's very well known, so everybody knows, you know, what I'm comparing against. So look at that. These Eaton puzzle pieces are basically like twice the thickness of the cardboard puzzles that we're getting today. And this is not at all to throw Ravensburger under the bus. Their puzzles are excellent, but it's just to show how thick the puzzles were back in the 80s. So interestingly, I just pulled up the photo of the coffee puzzle, and I'm trying to compare the piece cuts, because I would have thought, especially if these were released at the same time, I would have thought they'd have identical puzzle cuts. But I'm looking at them and they are completely different, which is so interesting. Maybe they weren't released at the same time, or maybe they were expecting people to buy both of them, and if they were gonna race both of them, they didn't want them to just memorize the piece cut. Or maybe these were made at a totally different time and they just had a different mini puzzle die cut ready to go at that time. Also, the coffee one definitely looks a lot harder because that one is coffee beans on top of ground coffee. So it's just dark brown on top of light brown, whereas with this one, these lines are much more distinct. So actually, doing the coffee one in under 3 minutes, that would be more of a challenge than this one was. I'm also looking at the lids. The lids are pretty much exactly the same except different colors. And looking at the scorecards, I'm pretty sure those are exactly the same between the two. All right, so now let's get back to the story of how I got my hands on this. Our saga begins with an Instagram message, and I cannot find the original message, so I don't know who sent it to me. If it was you, please let me know so I can say thank you. But somebody sent me an Instagram message basically saying, there is a puzzle on the Milwaukee Craigslist that you might want to go take a look at. And I was like, ooh, this is fun. This is like a scavenger hunt. Let's go see what we can find. So I went to the Milwaukee Craigslist and I found the listing. And as soon as I saw the photos, I was like, oh my God, this is really good. So the seller was only asking $15 for this. So I immediately messaged her and offered more than that and asked if she would be willing to ship it all the way to LA. And then she replied, why am I getting so many emails? Why are people offering me so much money for this puzzle? So at that point, I explained exactly who I was. I sent her the link to the Rare Puzzles video. I explained like what this puzzle was and how rare it was. So she thanked me for all that information. She let me know that this had been her mother's, who loved games and puzzles. So we went back and forth a couple times. She let me know that she was getting some very lucrative offers, but that she suspected they were coming from people who were just looking to resell it to then make even more money, and she wanted it to go to someone who loved puzzles as much as her mother did. So I was basically like, I totally understand if you get a higher offer, but if you can tell me what your current top offer is, I can try to match that. So that's what we did. I ended up paying her much more than $15, but she sold it to me so that I could have it here for my puzzle collection. And I'm just so happy to have this. This is such a special piece in my puzzle collection. So we'll just have to see if I ever get my hands on the coffee one. If I could have both of those like sitting here next to each other, oh my gosh, that would be amazing. If you have one, please get in touch. So originally that was going to be this entire video, but yesterday I fell into such a deep rabbit hole of Eaton puzzles. I wanted to know what other mini puzzles they had released and also what they were releasing around the same time as this one. So what I ended up doing was basically transferring the entire EatonPuzzles.com website over to my own spreadsheet so that I could more easily sort and reorganize all of that information. So Eaton was releasing puzzles between 1971 and 1988. And in those 17 years, they released around 350 puzzles, although there are some blank spaces on the website, so that number is not totally exact. But I wanted to know if they had released any other mini puzzles, because most of the puzzles on their website are just these 500-piece puzzles. Okay, so in 1973, they had a whole series of 300-piece puzzles, mostly of nature scenes. Then in 1977, they released this series of doodle mini puzzles. And the gimmick here is that they came with markers so that you could color them in yourself. So this tennis one is actually the only one that was on EatonPuzzles.com, but I found another one just by searching Eaton mini puzzles on WorthPoint. And then just by Google searching Eaton mini puzzles, I found a third one on Mercari, and I may have ordered that one. I've never ordered anything on Mercari before, so we'll see if it actually shows up, but it was under $15 for this very rare puzzle, so I decided to take my chances. So we have those three. I have no idea if there were any more in that mini doodle series. If anyone knows, please let me know. So then jumping ahead to 1980, they theoretically released the challenge cups, although there's no proof on the product itself that that's when it was released. They also released a mini puzzle called Pigtails, but it's so weird. That's the only one that they released at that time. Like, why would you release one single mini puzzle? Maybe there are others and they're just like not on the internet. I don't know. So that's basically it. If we jump ahead to 1988, they have these Foxwood Tales mini puzzles, but they don't say Eaton anywhere on them. They just say Treasure Collection, which is what all of the Eaton puzzles were sort of categorized as. So at least according to the website, these are some of the last puzzles that Eaton ever released, but I did a little Googling and I found this lawsuit from a trucking company basically saying that Eaton canceled their contract with them, but there's a whole lot of information in here about the company of Eaton. So as I talked about before, it says that Schaefer Eaton was the consolidation of two corporate divisions of Textron, Schaefer Pen Company, and Eaton Paper Company. But then in August of 1987, Textron sold its Schaefer Eaton division to Genefor Inc., which is a holding company, and its only asset consisted of Schaefer Eaton. There's a lot of business stuff in here. I don't really know what all of this means. But then, literally 2 months later, in October of '87, was Black Monday, which was a stock market collapse. And then in order to keep themselves out of bankruptcy, they had to sell Eaton, and yeah, I think that's about it. I think that's why Eaton stopped producing puzzles, is because of this stock market crash. Hi guys, Editing Karen here. So I actually did a little more Googling of this Berkshire Stationery Company, and just like these mini puzzles, there were actually a bunch of puzzles in 1987 and 88 that stopped using the Eaton name altogether and were only credited to Berkshire Stationery, sometimes with the Treasure Collection and sometimes not. Berkshire was not named at all in that lawsuit that I was just talking about, so I don't really know the full story of these last few years of Eaton. It's something that I'm just gonna continue to research. Okay, so then also on the site is this random Cuddly Teddy puzzle, which is said to be 108 pieces, but there's no date, and the photo is really bad, and when I search every combination of Cuddly Teddy Eaton puzzle, I can't find anything else about it, so I have no idea about that one. But that's really it for their mini puzzles, so not that many. I wish I could just talk to someone who worked there back then, because I have so many questions about the products they chose to release. Anyway, before you go, I have a couple charts for you, because it would not be a Karen Puzzles video without a whole bunch of charts. So when I was making my Eaton spreadsheet, I categorized all of the puzzles by shape and by category. So you can see that the vast majority of the puzzles they released were rectangular. They released 37 round puzzles, 8 mini puzzles, at least that I'm aware of, and then the 2 cups. And then I also wanted to sort all of their puzzles into category of what was on the puzzle, because I feel like all of the really boring nature photos is what originally jumped out to me. But it turns out the biggest category is actually their animal puzzles. After that is photographs of places, then is objects, then artwork, which actually surprised me that they released so many artwork puzzles, then food. They had a lot of food puzzles in the 80s. And then we have the nature puzzles, an other category, fantasy illustrations, and cars. So we can also see how many puzzles they released each year. It looks like 71 and 80 were their most prolific years. But keep in mind, there are all of these puzzles without confirmed release dates. So if we manage to figure those out, it could skew the data quite a bit. And then finally, one more interesting thing that I found. So I was trying to find a better photo of this puzzle from 1971. I looked it up on WorthPoint, and look at this description. It was being sold by someone whose mother-in-law worked at Eaton. I would have loved to have seen that attic collection. Can you just imagine what treasures were up there? All right, so I think that's all I've got for my deep dive into Eaton puzzles. So even after all that, I still only have 4 puzzles by them out of 350. I definitely want to keep collecting them. A lot of them are not at all rare, so I'm sure that I can just go on eBay and pick up a bunch of them, but I have to be mindful of how much space I currently have in this room before I just start buying and buying and buying. But someday, can you just imagine, wouldn't it be so amazing to have all 350 all in one place again? Oh, that would be so beautiful. I mean, that's basically what my dad did with his anvil collection. I'm definitely following in his footsteps now with my puzzle collection. All right, so before I go, I just wanted to let you guys know about a puzzle competition that I will be taking part in. So at the end of January, I will be leaving beautiful, sunny Los Angeles, and I will be traveling to cold, snowy Minnesota. Why? I'm gonna be so cold. But it is the St. Paul Winter Carnival. They do an annual puzzle competition every single year, and I will be taking part this year. This has been going on for decades, so there's a lot of information already out there about it if you want to learn more about this one. So this competition is only 4-person teams. It is not individual, not pairs. It is only a team competition. And are you ready for the team reveal? I will be teaming up with Jonathan, who you saw in my Nationals video. We're gonna give it another shot. We've also got Faith, who was part of the group that organized the Nationals competition, and Kevin, who I have not met yet, but hopefully we puzzle together well. And I say that because I'm also taking part in a competition down in Orange County in February, and I'm going to be teaming up with Kevin. So hopefully we work well together because we'll be competing against Tammy and Yvonne. I'm just hoping for second place there. I'm just hoping they're not like a full 10 minutes ahead of us. So if you are at either of those events, please come say hi and let me know down in the comments what puzzles did you get for the holidays? What puzzles did you work on over the holidays? Your code word for the comments will be T. So thank you for being here and supporting me for another year of puzzle videos, and I will see you all in the next one.